Hello friends, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I am in an event today and I am stressing because my printer is just wanting to be crazy and not do what I need it to do. So let's see if I can get then this one to print. This one. I want this one. I'm gonna try it again. Hopefully it will print it this time. We shall see. We shall see. So welcome in friends. Thank you so much for being here. Ah. Ay, 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 ay. Thank you, Miss Julie, for getting me shared in. I really appreciate you very, very much. We may not be able to get to do what I wanted to do because my printer is not wanting to work. So we are in Cupid's Arrow event, hosted in Craft Events by Julie. Thank you so much for having me. Before me was Miss Lisa Mary. Hopefully you guys got a chance to see her. And hey there, hello Elk River, welcome in friend. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it very, very much. Whew. Like I said, I'm a little frazzled because my printer's not wanting to do what it needs to be doing. So definitely very stressed out. But thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. There have already been several creators, so please make sure that you go and follow everybody. Up after me will be Miss Grace from Grace Faithful Creations, aka the Pouncing Bling Queen. So make sure that you do stay tuned for that. And let's get started. Let's see what we can do. Hey there, Miss Cheryl. Hello, hello. Thank you for the sprinkles, friends. I really do appreciate it very, very much. I'm doing okay. Got a bit of a headache coming on, but other than that, I'm fine. Weather must be acting up. So, did y'all see that? You know, Mr. Groundhog, what he decided to tell us today? Y'all, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to cut my printer off and turn it back on. Sometimes that fixes the situation. Sometimes, not always. But we'll see. We will see. Okay. Meanwhile, this thing decides to work. We're gonna start some painting because we gotta get some painting done. So we're gonna work on that. And all the things. Alright. But yeah. So Mr. Groundhog, generally, and I forget what the name of the one that we have now in Georgia, decided that we are supposed to be getting, you know, some extra winter weeks. So, well, let me just say, not too happy about that. But What can we do, right? We do. Can't do a whole lot of much. Now can we? Alright. Let me get you guys turned over this way so you can see what I'm working on. Groundhog didn't even show himself much. He skedaddled, so that means we got more winter coming. So, needless to say, and from my understanding, it was the groundhog in Georgia and the groundhog, because General Lee was moved now, and they both saw their shadow. So we're right. That's how it goes. They both saw their shadow. So now we're gonna have some more winter. Yeah, that's how it goes. Alright, I have this little, I don't even know where I got this from, but it's called a little slate sign. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use it in conjunction with this wooden frame from the Dollar Tree, the square one, and it pretty much fits it almost perfectly. Our groundhog is at, he's actually not too far from us. We've actually gone to see him. He's down in, what's it called? Dawson Trails is the place where he stays at. That national park. It's headed towards Jackson, Georgia, which is again not too far from us. So, yeah. You're next door to me in Alabama. Well, I guess that just means that you'll be getting a whole bunch of it too, huh? Hi there, Miss Grace. How are you doing, dear? So, Miss Grace is up after me. Make sure you guys stay tuned to see what she's going to do. All right, so let's start getting painted and all the things. I just had let's see, I just had my little thing here. I guess we're gonna have to put it on some paper or something. But I'm gonna use this. It's rosy mauve. I love this color. It's one of my new fave colors. I've had it for a while, but I really like it for this. So Cupid's arrow. What do you think when you think of Cupid's arrow? You think of the little boy, you know what I mean, in the how far am I from Alabama? It depends on what part of Alabama. Actually, not that far. Maybe a few hours, if that. I'm on the southeast side of Atlanta. So like when I go to my retreat, I actually end up going through Alabama to get to go towards Oklahoma, because that's the route we took last time. Is it Birmingham? I think it's what it is. And it's not that far from us. Like I said, a couple of hours, if that. So, yep, not that far from Alabama. I did not know that you were in Alabama, Miss Julie. Oh, I know Miss Sarah's in Alabama, but I did not know that you were in Alabama. Miss Sarah from the Wobbly Nickel, she's in Alabama. Every time I've gone through Alabama going somewhere, I haven't been able to meet up with her yet. See, you're about 2 hours from Atlanta, and I'm about 30 minutes southeast of Atlanta. So, that's why I said it's a couple hours, not that far. About 30 miles southeast. So, yeah, I didn't know that you were this close to me, my friend. But thank you so much for having me. I really, really do appreciate it a whole lot. Again, this is just a really cute mauve pink color, and this little ornate frame is one of the new frames that well, new, kinda new, that I'd seen at the dollar store. They have round ones, and then they had this square one, so I got one of each. And when I was looking for my surface, I realized that, hey, wait a second, I think this one will line up with that base I want to use. And sure enough, yep, it does. Hello, hello, how are you? How is my sweet Miss Carla? I hope you are having a good day, and that work was good, not too crazy. So, yeah, you would be closer to me than Miss Sarah, because Miss Sarah is kind of up north part of Alabama. That much I remember. She's like, I think, like on the way to like Huntsville or something. So, yeah. Yes, we should. That would be super cool. Get all the Georgia girls, Alabama girls. It's actually talking about, you know, doing maybe Chattanooga again, because there's a few people. When Sherry had come through, we went and met up over that way, and honestly, it's kind of central to a lot of people, so I'd be totally down for that. Unless people want to come and meet up, I don't know, somewhere else. Chattanooga's about a 2.5 hour drive from me, something like that, I think. Either way, you know, I will drive. Yes, there's our Louisiana. I know, Miss Carla's in Louisiana, and Kathy's in Louisiana. We have several friends in Louisiana. Miss Lisa Mary, who was on before me, she's also from Louisiana. So definitely need to do. And I've driven. I was in Louisiana last year for a bit. So, and I do plan to go back this year, because I want to spend some time with my sweet Carla. So we still have to figure and get that kind of situated there, because I gotta plan it around hubby's when he's able to take some time off, so that we can go together and all the good stuff. Well, don't comment if you're driving. You need to be safe on the road, Goofy. You're in West Virginia. Well, we'll actually be coming to Virginia for a retreat in October. There's gonna be a crafty retreat in October, so I'm excited because I'll be over in the west side of Virginia, the Shenandoah area. I will not forget about you, Miss Kathy. We will plan a get together for all of my wonderful Louisiana friends, because I would love to be able to hang out with y'all. Alright, let me go see if I got this thing to print. Give me a second, because I heard my printer. Aha! Now I decided to act right. Awesome. Yay! No, I think I printed it too big. That'll be alright. I think it's cute, because I have this one, or I had a silhouette. Which one do y'all think would look better? The Cupid or the silhouette of the lovebirds? Because my Cupid kind of printed a little bit big, but I mean, still not bad. Yes, of course, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? See, 35 minutes from Birmingham, that's not bad. Not bad at all. So, Miss Beth, hey sweetie, how you doing, dear? I hope you're feeling well. So we've got one for the Cupid, one vote for my Cupid, one, or cherub, because he's kind of more of a cherub. One for the love couple, the lovebirds. Alright. We need some tiebreakers. I got 1 and 1. I got 1 and 1, so y'all need to help kinda. You're surviving. I hear you. Well, you're in my prayers, hon. Alright, so anybody else got any preference on which one we should do? Should we do the cherub, or should we do the vintage couple? You love the silhouette. Someone needs to break the tie. That's what I was saying, Kathy. Well, Miss Julie just did. She said that she likes the silhouettes. So we will do the silhouette. Alright. So I had, hello there, Chandra, welcome in. So I had ideas for either or, so awesome. Really, really good, I'm glad. Okay, I'm gonna use my regular Elmer school glue. And this is what I'm gonna use to decoupage with, okay? Yes, I know it's cold glue, but you know, you need to cooperate. I am so glad that it's going to be warming up soon. I really am very glad that it is going to be warming up. You know, we had one weekend of ice, one weekend of snow. You know, I'm done. I'm just saying I'm done. I just am not happy that Mr. Groundhog had to see his thing again, right? Because, yeah, now he made us have to deal with some more winter. So, definitely not happy about that. Alright. And yes, I'm using the same brush that I painted with. I am not the most kosher of crafters. 68 degrees in North Carolina. Northern California. Yeah, Cali got the nice warm weather while we were freezing our tushies off over here. So, and then I just saw before I came live that Miss Yachty posted that they were having some cold weather down in Florida. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, that's no fun. It's supposed to be warm in those areas. Like, come on now. Kind of like what I was expecting, you know, for Georgia, but no. We gotta have this weird, wonky weather. Yeah, I've learned in my years of living here that you can only expect weird stuff to happen with the weather. I know, I am so ready for spring and, you know, even for the summer. I agree. Somebody posted something about, you know, where are those people that were complaining about, you know, the hot weather and that we needed the cold. Hopefully y'all are enjoying yourselves now. Because if you're one of the ones complaining, we got a problem. So. Ooh, you went to Hobby Lobby. Somebody got some crafty shopping done. Awesome. That's always fun. Did you find any goodies? Yeah, that, you know what? I noticed that when I was there in July this past year. Oh my word, is it humid in Louisiana. I was like, whoa. It was hot. It was hard to breathe. I was so not. No, you know, I thought it got humid here, but no, it was bad over there. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Alright, so I'm just drying my glue up a little bit. Everything's on sale. That was something I needed to go look for. But evidently it wasn't that important because I don't remember what it was that I needed to get. Okay. So, I'm going to lay this down. Like I said, evidently it wasn't that important because I don't remember what it was supposed to be. told myself I needed to get something. I don't remember what it was. Okay. And then we are going to iron it. It takes your breath away. Yeah. Yes, we definitely experienced that. So, I was like, So, I'm not trying to come and visit in July again. That's, I will say that. But I'm not sure yet. It's going to depend on when, like I said, when hubby can get off from work and all that stuff, and when Miss Carla will be available and things. So we still gotta plan that. So we shall see. But I do know that once the school year is over and I am able to work more, and so we shall see. We shall see. I want to travel more and do a lot more like in-person meetups, maybe do some workshops, that kind of stuff. That's what I plan to do once I stop teaching at the end of May. So this paper here is kind of like a linen paper. It's actually pretty neat paper for sure. And I love the design. I think it's very romantic, so perfect for our theme. You went to the Hobby Lobby in Houston and you weren't impressed. What are you doing in Houston? The only thing I did when I was in San Antonio was go to the bins. Because I had not gone to any bins. Because ironically enough, the closest bins that we have are over in Columbus, Georgia, which is on the border with Alabama. Down south. So that would be yeah, I'm very blessed. Gary is very supportive, and so we've been talking about what this next chapter would look like and what it would look like for us together. So there would be obviously times where he would be able to come with me, and then there would be times he wouldn't because of work. But yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun for us to do. Alright, now I'm going to do something that's a little old school. This is just a regular pencil, in case if y'all are wondering. And I'm hoping that this is going to allow me to do what I want to do. I think I made it home? What do you mean you think you made it home? Either you did or you didn't. How are you doing, Poodle? My UK friend, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for popping in. So today's event is Cupid's arrow. And right now I am going pretty old school with this. Hey, I hear you. Nobody said running them roads was gonna be fun. Okay, where did I... So I need to make sure that I am going to put this... nice and centered. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm sure it has been. Yeah, let me sharpen my pencil right quick. I'm sure, because, you know, everybody looks at a theme differently. So that is the nice thing about it, right? Is that everybody looks at a theme very differently. Oh, darn it, it's not gonna do what I want it to do. It's working. It's faint, but it's working. So I am trying to transfer the image of the silhouettes onto my paper. Obviously, if you had carbon paper, this would work a lot easier, even a lot faster. But if you don't have carbon paper, there's still a way to get it done. And so I remember being in elementary school and learning this trick from our art teacher. You take your regular regular pencil, and you color the back of it so that when you trace on the top, you're going to transfer the lead from the pencil onto whatever image it is that you have on the bottom. So that way you're able to get this done. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up painting this on. Okay, so that is the plan. Has anybody else remember doing something like this in school? Because, you know, sometimes if you had the carbon paper, and if you pressed too hard on it, you would actually smudge whatever you had on the bottom. This, you wouldn't smudge. It would just transfer whatever it was that you were marking. So... and I think that is actually really, really cool. So, I know it's hard to see, but my image is there. You used to do this in school too? Okay, good. So I'm not the only one who remembers doing this in school. Now, do I think any of my kids ended up doing this in school? No. Cuz, you know, I don't think, and there's a lot of stuff that did not get sadly passed down to the new generations. And things like this, I remember putting paper up on the windows in the classroom to trace things. I always loved art class. It was one of my favorite classes. Yeah, we did white paper underneath, of course. I mean, I've done white paper underneath, but in this case, I want the, I wanted the pretty paper. So, I wanted the pretty paper under there. And like I said, this was, I just found this image online. I just asked for a silhouette of a Victorian. You vaguely remember those days, but I've done some work with carbon paper. Yeah. And see, I've done work with carbon paper. I am not a big fan of carbon paper because I tend to press down with a lot of weight many times, and when you do that, you tend to transfer or smudge whatever you have underneath. And so that is, you know, you can end up ruining your design. Now, will it be perfect like this print? No, it will not. But as long as I have the idea of the silhouettes, that is what I want for my frame. I think it's gonna look really, really cute, right? And again, this is, you know, trying to use what we have, because that is one of the big things that I'm trying to do this year, is trying to use what I have, unless I'm looking for something specific, or maybe like if I'm trying, you know, I need a medium or something of that nature, which I need to get some resin for my molds. And I want some other molds for some things that I'm working on. So those are things that I will look into purchasing. But other than that, I think we're good. Alright. And we have her buttons. Okay. It's faint, but I can see it. Yeah, so most pencils that we use are the number 2 lead pencils. The higher the number, like the thicker the inner is. So I know when you're doing certain sketches, there's thicker ones. Yes, Miss Carla, this is so true. You can always find something that you want, you know, that you need, quote, that you want. Yes, so very true. I'm sitting in the laundromat washing and drying clothes. Oh no, your washer broke? That is a pain in the rear end. Yes, it is. Yeah. I've been there. I have been there. I do not like having to deal with the laundromat. Especially there was a time when there was a lot of little ones, and having to do clothing for 7 little ones and 2 adults was too much. It was a lot. It was a little too much. But yes, it is a pain in the rear end. I completely agree with you, my friend, and I am so sorry that you're having to go through that. At least we're keeping you company. Nah, I wouldn't be a happy camper either. But at least we're able to keep you company, right? I think, hopefully. I think I had better success with the dude than I did with her. And of course, me and my not so good eyes are definitely struggling. Y'all forgive if I'm a little quiet while I try to get this somewhat done. Oh no, thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate that very, very much. I really, really do. This has been fun. I'm glad I was able to be part of your event, because it's been a while since I've been able to participate. So I'm very, very happy about that. Not the most attractive right there. They are quite common to use. This is true. This is very true. Trying to make sure I don't. That's his hat right there. So sometimes replacing those washers is not the easiest thing to, or dryers is actually not the easiest thing to do. Now I'll tell you, when the kids went camping, or well, when we went camping, because we were big into scouts when the kids were younger, we always took our clothing afterwards and did it at the laundromat instead of at home, because you know, trying to wash the what do you call it, sleeping bags and stuff, yeah, that could prove to be interesting, needless to say. Now, for all of y'all who are watching, I will be coloring the silhouette in black, and I honestly think that I am going to emboss it black with embossing powder so that it actually stands out. I think that'll make it actually even better, is if I can do that. So I think that is what I will be doing with it. So we will be embossing this. If you guys didn't watch my live yesterday, check it out, because oh yeah, I know Bridgerton. I'm actually told my daughter that I was not going to watch it until the full season was out, because it aggravates me when they only put about a few episodes out and then they don't put the rest out. It just irritates me when they do that. So I will wait till the end of February and watch the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I'll end up doing. Because yeah, people go cuckoo over that show. Like crazy. And there's already been like all kinds of people throwing spoilers of it, and I'm like, I'm not trying to know what the heck is happening, because I want to wait till the whole thing is out and then I'll watch it. But you know, not everybody thinks in that manner, so yeah, it is what it is. I might have to redo her a little bit because there's part of her that I am not able to see. Yeah, this is crazy. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna wait till they put the whole thing out, and then once everything's out, then I'll watch it. Because if not, yeah, I don't like this. Watch a few episodes and then, you know, you have to wait. Like, I don't want to have to wait. I want to be able to watch it, know what's happening. So, thank you again, Miss Julie, for having me and hosting this event. And thank you to Miss Carla as well, and to the other admins of the group. And make sure that you guys are following the free group so that you can watch everybody. And you can go and see Miss Grace, who will be up in the next few minutes. And that way y'all can enjoy her. And I know she's going to have something amazing because she is an absolute artist. And I am just honored to be able to be in events with all of y'all who are just so absolutely talented. Come back with the chin a little bit. It is a wonderful group, isn't it? Oh, it's just you and Miss Carla? Okay, I thought you had a few more admins that were helping you, dear. Well, that is... I am still very blessed to be part of your event, and thank you to the two of you. I know it is not easy to host events, so thank you for putting these events on, and for, you know, putting up with all the crazies, because, you know, we creators can be a little special sometimes. Alright, and then the only thing that I'm missing is the rest of her hat, which is really hard to see for some reason. Maybe because of the fact that it is... Oh, thank you! Kathy, you're so funny. Look, I mean, you know, my husband has learned that with creativity and the creative mind comes some very unique traits. Some of them he's not the happiest with, but he understands that that is what makes me me, and so I'm very grateful for that. I'm just so blessed, honestly. I'm just very, very blessed. Alright, now I worked on this style of project yesterday, and I'm going to show you guys what it is. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard of embossing with embossing powders. So I have this embossing dabber instead of the ink pad. Well, I have the ink pad as well. So normally you would take your stamp, you would go on the ink pad, you would put your stamp down and it's clear. You would put your embossing powder on it, and then you would heat, using your heat tool, you are going to it makes it nice, and it melts it, and it makes it really pretty. Well, with this right here, I did this yesterday, and using a brush, I opened it up, I brushed the liquid straight on, and then I dabbed, put on my stuff, and so then I was able to essentially paint in, and that's what I want to do with the silhouette. So in my mind, I was like, okay, if y'all ladies pick the silhouette, this is what we're gonna do, because I really loved how that turned out. Okay, so I'm going to get, I need a finer tip brush than that one. Oh, that won't work. And so okay, all right, so the dabber, I'm just taking this liquid form, and which, like I said, you normally have an ink pad, and it's just, it looks transparent, and what it does is it's a medium to hold the powder. Okay, the magic is in the powder. It's kind of like when we use glue and glitter and we want the glitter to stay. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit so that y'all can see what I'm talking about, and then that way I don't take up more of my time. Okay, I painted in with the embossing powder. The what I'm using is essentially the ink part, and then now we take the powders, and I have them in these little containers. Okay, and so it looks like a powder. Okay, looks like a powder, right? Alright, so it looks like a powder. I'm going to turn this to the side, and then this is what you do. Yes, ma'am, we can. And so we're going to start warming this up. I always start off slow, and then I heat it up. And what ends up happening is that powder begins to melt. And it creates this glossy effect. And it's hard and raised up. So y'all see that? See, it's nice and glossy and raised and textured. So I'm going to do that to the whole silhouette, and we'll do that inside, and then I will put my frame around it like that. See? That's the idea. Well, I just figured I was going to do this instead of the stamping. I was like, hey, this is, I can brush this on. So that's what it's going to look like. All right. But I will definitely show y'all more how it's going to look. But let's go see Miss Grace. Thank you for hanging out with me. and I hope you guys will join me. It does create a very nice glossy effect to it. There's some that have glitter, there's some that are just opaque, there are some that are translucent, so it depends on the type of powder that you have. So again, thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you guys have liked the idea, and I will show y'all what it looks like. So thank you so very much, and be blessed, my friends. Know that I love you, and more importantly, know that, you know, our Lord loves you. So have a blessed day, stay warm, and I will see